the dominant topic here in college football over the last, I guess, 2 weeks or so. But when you first heard, all these comments they've been making about the hurry up no huddle and it possibly being a safety issue, I mean, what did you think? Is there anything you'd ever heard before being around football for as long as you have?
No, it's ridiculous. I played in the wishbone, and we'd have 12 and 15 play drives, and if there are some statistics out there about health and safety, I'd love to see them, but they are none. The thing that I say, Ryan, is that it is a health and safety issue. It's not very healthy for the opposing fans because they can't stop it. It bothers them. It's not safe for the coaches that can't stop it because they get fired. So that's the only health and safety issue I know about. I think it's ridiculous. In 1913, Notre Dame completed a forward pass against Army, and I guess we, maybe should rethink that as well. But it's ridiculous, unless of course somebody can come forward with some data that shows where it's a health and safety issue, which we haven't experienced any of that, and I think it's a joke.
So I mean, do you seem to be more along the lines of thinking like Spurrier was when he said last week that he thought like the things to take more out of teams are like the time-consuming 10, 15 kind of play drives where every single play, you're getting hit more than like he said like the 10-second drives.
Yeah. So what? I didn't read what he said, Ryan.
Well, his kind of point was, he's like, I always felt like it was more of a health issue when we went up against a team who went on a long, time-consuming drive, compared to like these offenses that are these quick strike, less than a minute kind of things. There's not that many plays being run.
Right. That was my point about when I played here and ran the wishbone. But I don't know any statistical data about either side of that. And it's a game of contact and collision. And the offensive players, they're running the same number of plays as defensive players. And does that mean that as an old offensive lineman, it makes me think that everybody's finally acknowledging that the offense is in better shape than the defense? And I say that kiddingly, of course, but I think that it's just ridiculous. And at a time where we've got shot clocks in basketball, and people get penalized for not playing fast enough in golf, and now we've got pitch clocks at baseball and the amount of time you warm up between innings, because we're trying to make sure that people come to our stadiums and fill our venues and keep the pace of play going because it's entertaining, and there are no health and safety issues. I think it's a joke. Here's the thing about it is that if you want to have fun playing football, you come to Auburn. If you want to go somewhere where they run 12 and 15 plays and it's a mundane offense, that's where you need to go. But if you want to have fun playing the game, you come here to Auburn and play, because this is a fun offense, and this is what high school students and football players, it's what high school football players like to play. Our guys love it. The defense loves it. It's fast-paced. Our students today, they're multitasking all the time and different things going on. So this is a fun place to play. So if you want to come have fun playing football, you come to Auburn. If you want to go someplace that runs a slow offense and methodical and all those kind of things, you probably need to go to that. But this is where you have a lot of fun.
Is this something that you and Gus have discussed much, or have you kind of let him kind of handle this? Because I know it's kind of been in the coaching circles where like all this consternation's kind of come from.
Both. He and I've talked a lot about it, and but he's done most of the listening and talking to other coaches, because his concern was, just like mine would be, is there a health and safety issue here? And it's obvious by all accounts there's not. If there is, nobody knows about it. We certainly need to do some things probably to protect our quarterback in this business. That's where we need to start, is what can we do to better protect a quarterback standing out there by themselves. But as far as a hurry-up offense, or an offense that snaps the ball a little bit quicker than others, it's a joke, and there's really no place for it.
I know kind of a big topic over the last month was, like Gus lost 5 members of the sports staff, and here in the last 2 days there have been 2 more who've been kind of added back. Would you say, not just in football, but just in general, is that really maybe sometimes the only downside of winning, is that, when you start winning, then other people want your guys, or women, if it's women coaches, And so then you have to kind of like restock. I mean, is that like is that like one of the only things you could ever think of? It's like, because you don't want to have to replace people, but you understand that hey, they become hot commodities when you start winning.
Well, I don't think I haven't found a downside to winning yet. And I think it's, for people that want to, and everybody that's left here has moved up. We had one guy that was an analyst here, and he's an offensive coordinator at BCS school. Every one of these guys that have left here, they've moved up into a bigger role, which is what their goals are. So if you want to be at a place that can help promote your professional expertise, then you come to Auburn, because that's obviously what happened this past year, and certainly winning has a lot to do with it. But it's also Gus, having been a high school coach, bringing in high school coaches, he knows how to talk to them and prepare them for the next step, because he went along the way himself that way. Went from high school to college, and so he's a great teacher for those former high school coaches, so it gives them a chance. So I don't know of any downside to winning. We're just glad that these guys are able to come here, and women, depending on the sport, able to come here, and if they can't reach their full potential as far as a title goes here, because it's not available, we're just so glad they're able to go somewhere and impact student athletes' lives in a positive way because of their experience they've had here at Auburn.
I was going to ask, when you think back over the last year and a half for you, how much of a roller coaster of emotions has kind of been? I mean, from going from the way the 3-9 season was, and then of course this past year with the way everything kind of unfolded, and this kind of dream season all the way up until 13 seconds left in the national title game. Can you just kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's obviously in college athletics or any athletics, there are highs and lows. My having been a football player here and coached the tight ends here, and been the conditioning coach. I've grown up in this business, so I know the highs and lows. And you just got to be, being an athletic director in Southeastern Conference isn't for the faint-hearted. And you just got to be tough and do what's right and work through all those things, those highs and lows, and just try to maintain a sense of level, a level sense of your mentality there. You can't get too high when you're a minute and a half from winning, a minute and a half away from winning, your second national championship in 3 years, and you can't get too low when you're not winning enough to get to a bowl game. And it's a roller coaster for the fans, but it makes it exciting. The highs and the lows do. But as the CEO of this athletics department, in my having played here in my formal education, you got to keep all those things in perspective, because you can't allow your staff and your coaches, your student athletes, to hit those peaks and valleys too quickly as well.
Kind of speaking to that, I mean, and you're talking about maintain the level. I mean, was there ever a point that you thought, I mean, I might not be here much longer? Or is it one of those things like you never even could focus on because you were so wrapped up in, like you said, maintaining that sense of and not showing it to the rest of the staff?
Yeah, no, I was interested in doing my job and making sure everybody around me was doing theirs, because there was a lot of noise outside of the department and impacting our players. My number one concern is our student athletes, and we're going to keep doing what's right regardless of how good things are on the outside or how bad things are on the outside. And so no, I was all I'm interested in is doing my job every day, and because of how long I've been here, my different experiences, I'm the best person to do it. And I think I was able to lead us through those turbulent times because of my Auburn background and having been a player here. And the toughest thing I ever went through was 3-a-days with Pat Dye. Since I came through 3-a-days, I've been running downhill ever since. And that teaches you some mental toughness and some physical toughness, and certainly enhances you from a spiritual standpoint. And I rely on all three of those. And certainly don't want Auburn have to go through that again. But at the same time, we went through that. Then the next year we're playing for the national championship. So sometimes in business or in life or in college athletics, going to a tough time makes you even better. The challenge for every program is to sustain this success that we've had last year. That's the challenge. It doesn't matter if you're a Super Bowl winner or World Soccer winner or Baseball College World Series or whatever it may be, NBA, maintaining that, sustaining that culture that atmosphere of excellence. And it's challenging to do, but that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure every day that we put around this team and all these student athletes, all 21 teams, put around them the opportunity to be successful, to win championships, and to get a diploma in their hand.